Which horse has taught you the most?
For different reasons. I would say a mare called Horizon's Dancer, who I claimed years ago when I was training horses. She was a great mare for me, but she taught me a lot. She taught me patience. She taught me a lot about how to shoe a horse because we had problems with her for a while. So I'd say Horizon's Dancer.
There's been several crazy trotters I've had with weird shoeing issues and behavioral issues, and we've done pretty good with them, but the biggest one would probably be a mare I had recently named Monarch Sealster. She had a lot of shoeing issues, and through trial and error, we figured it out, and we know for the future.
I had a horse a long time ago. His name was Brett Cashier. He was a classy old horse, and he more or less taught me more than I knew. You know, he was just a nice old horse, cheap claimer, but he taught me a lot.
Probably a lot of the horses in my early days when I was training. You learned a lot about soreness, what it takes to get a horse rigged up. So to say one horse, that would be a stretch.
It'd be a horse when I was in PEI, my stepdad owned. He had the same name as that good horse, Dr. No, but it was spelled Nault. And I worked on him from when I was a kid till he was 11 or 12.
Maybe one of the first ones I trained by myself would be, his name was Out All Night. I guess I learned a little bit from him because he wasn't a very hard trier and he liked to do things his own way. So the easy ones are easy to take care of. I guess you learn on the bad ones, so I learned on him.
I guess probably the first saddle horse I had when I was about 10 years old. Yeah.
I would say probably older horses, you know, they've been around for a long time. When you're young and first starting out, you know, you seem to make some mistakes, and sometimes, believe it or not, they'll correct you.
My first horse I ever had, I first got my license, he made a mistake, she made up for it. She wasn't a very fast horse, but she taught me a lot just on driving, and it's just, she was a good horse to learn on, so it taught me a lot.
An old horse, when I was growing up, I learned to drive on him. His name was Gold Ensign. He was about 14. He raced till he was 14, and he knew where the wire was, and when he was close, he'd give you all he had, 100%.
Traveling Boy. That was the horse that I won my first race with when he was 3 years old, and I raced him it was my fourth drive ever, and I raced him from 3 until he was 12. And he made $238,000 back in the 70s. I was just looking him up last night. He had 123 starts. He had 44 wins, 30-some seconds and 23rds or something. He was unbelievable. I drove him as bad as you could drive him, and he always was first, second, third. So and people used to say that too, that, boy, that must be a good horse for you driving him. But anyway, he taught me lots.
There's an old horse when I started driving out way back in the day. His name was Heavy Gambler. He wasn't much of a classy old horse, but kind of taught me, you know, just because you're on the outside, you don't always have to go ahead, and he knows where the wire was, and he kind of taught me that.
There's a horse I drove for a long time. It's Gabby Angel. And it's back home. I probably had like about 50 wins with her, and she was a family pet. I learned a lot from her. She taught me a lot. She was a great horse, and she's one that hangs up on her wall to today.
Precious Bunny taught me a lot. This is the first real good one I drove, and I learned a lot about stake racing after I got driving him. There ain't many, there's not many favors out there, like, you know, holes and stuff like that when you're going for big money.
I don't know, my own horses or the ones I finished last with, it makes me appreciate the wins a little more, I guess.
I think you learn all the time in this business. Even horses that haven't raced can teach you something. But the ones that, the best one I think that we had, I go back to a mare called Incredible Way that died when she was 3 but was unbeatable at 2. Very smart horse. Taught you a lot of things.
I usually teach them. Just I've had some good horses through the years. Elegant Claim was a really nice filly that got me going. Raced her free-legged and stuff. It's just an honest, nice horse. Just a great horse.
I don't know very much. I drove like 37,000 horses, and I'm still as stupid as the day I sat on the bike for the first time. So I'm going to say I don't really necessarily say that he taught me a lot, but I would say that Sandpail taught me what a champion horse is all about.